An elite noble lineage from the south of France vanishes from the historical record at the height of the Middle Ages. Centuries later, their exact cultural footprint reappears, but this time the family is operating as working-class tin miners on the coast of Britain. To understand how they made that jump, we have to look at their artwork. This is the official medieval coat of arms for the de Nans family, who ruled over the French valley of Nans-les-Pins. It features a high-status yellow background, 4 red roses, and a bold, solid black cross in the center. Now, look at this second shield, the family crest of the Cornish Nans family in England. They were separated by a massive geographic divide and belonged to a different social class. Yet in the middle of their shield is the exact same black cross. Adopting the exact color and basic geometry of a cross from another region is a standard heraldic signal. These matching symbols suggest a calculated cipher designed to mask a highly protected identity while communicating their true origins to those trained to read it. Legal oaths recorded in the Cartulary of Saint-Victor define the 11th century de Nans as a specific class of noble, sworn, militarized vassals. These records, along with their residency in the Logis Seigneurial, confirm they were the primary presence in the valley during the castle's most active period. Their residency gave them control over a vital checkpoint. By managing the fortified castrum at the base of the Sainte-Baume massif, the de Nans family served as the physical gatekeepers of the primary route leading up the mountain to a specific cave. Regional tradition holds this grotto as the sanctuary of Mary Magdalene, making it a focal point for researchers of the Rex Deus, a theorized network of families believed to be the physical protectors of a sacred lineage. In this framework, the family's proximity to the shrine wasn't a matter of convenience, but a hereditary commission. The Abbey of Saint-Victor relied on local lords for immediate governance and defense. By holding the valley below the grotto, the de Nans operated as the frontline military shield for one of the most sensitive medieval holy traditions. By the 13th century, the Catholic Church was moving to centralize its power across Europe. The papacy viewed independent regional traditions, especially those involving local saints and protected shrines, with deep suspicion as potential harbors for heresy. The family's displacement was formalized in 1295. Pope Boniface VIII issued a papal bull that officially stripped the Abbey of Saint-Victor of its stewardship over the Magdalene Grotto. He handed the site directly to the Dominican order, agents of the Inquisition, effectively firing the de Nans from their hereditary job as guardians. With their oaths nullified and the Inquisition taking control of their territory, the de Nans lineage began to fade from Provençal records. They fled north, following established tin trading routes to the coast of Cornwall. Cornwall offered more than just distance. The region is steeped in folklore, connecting its ancient tin mines to Joseph of Arimathea. For a family displaced from a Magdalene shrine, this provided a pre-established sanctuary with deep ideological ties to their original mission. They utilized existing merchant networks to quietly slip out of a heavily monitored region and embed themselves in a remote community. Their migration was a strategic relocation of the Guardian Office to friendly territory. In 1337, the creation of the Duchy of Cornwall triggered strict land audits by the king's auditors. This administrative shift forced local families to legally formalize their identities to keep their property rights over farms and mines. To survive the audits, the family deployed a dual identity strategy. Locally, they adopted the Celtic name Trengove, meaning the smith's farm. This rooted them in the indigenous community and signaled an ancient right to the land that avoided the scrutiny of being seen as foreigners. But on official documentation, they utilized the alias Nans. To a Cornish neighbor, it simply meant valley. To a Norman French tax collector, however, it registered as a high-status surname, mirroring the structure of French lordship titles and preserving their connection to their original estates. The legal moniker Trengove alias Nans became a sophisticated form of cultural camouflage. It allowed them to maintain a native Cornish history for the public while keeping their original noble identity alive in the eyes of the law. Returning to the Cornish Nans coat of arms, we see how they maintained their original identity through coded heraldry. Each element functions as a bridge back to their time as guardians in Provence. Look at the 4 rings, or annulets, in the corners. In heraldry, an annulet is the geometric base of a rose. By switching from the red roses of their French ancestry to these simplified circles, the family preserved the number and position of their sacred symbols while blending into the English heraldic style. Centered on the cross is a small white bird. While representing the Holy Spirit, in Provençal tradition, the dove is linked to Mary Magdalene and her title as the Apostle to the Apostles, signaling the core of their original mission remains protected within the cross. Positioned above the shield is a unicorn emerging from a coronet. While these are standard heraldic elements, researchers of the Rex Deus network argue that the unicorn's association with the incorruptible symbolizes a claim to a sacred bloodline, a status far higher than their outward life as Cornish gentry suggested. At the base of the crest sits a Latin motto, Semper Eadem. It translates directly to always the same. The de Nans family lost their ancient fortress and their official role at the foot of the mountain. But through brilliant linguistic adaptation and coded art, they ensured their legacy survived the shifts of medieval history, hiding a sacred history right under the nose of the empire.